series on mind-body practices for endometriosis.
So we are Deborah and Wendy of Living Lēla, and we specialize in mind-body practices to optimize fertility. As we like to say, we're in the business of mama making, so really shifting the focus from baby making to mama making to be able to get into a more receptive, feminine, empowered state around fertility. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be sharing some different segments, if you will, regarding research and information on endometriosis, mind-body practices, including reduction tools for the reduction of pain and endometriosis, among other things. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, so we actually would like to start today by sharing a study that was done in 2017 by Goncalves et al., I hope I'm saying that correctly, from Brazil, and this was published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine. And so they did a study where they took people with endometriosis and they had them do hatha yoga 2 times a week for 8 weeks. And what they found in just that short amount of time was that there was a decrease in pelvic pain and
significant
and an increased quality of life. So just amazing. Again, you know, here's why I always say yoga's been around for thousands of years, right? Because it's just so good for you. So just adding 2 practices a week, that's not that much. I mean, I know sometimes it's still hard to find any time to exercise or do self-care in your life, but really 2 times a week for 8 weeks, and already they found such a big change.
Yes.
So we wanted to share that study because we thought that was pretty powerful and amazing.
Absolutely.
And just more support again for how awesome yoga is.
Yeah. And so, you know, part of what we teach is yoga and breath work to start to help with things like circulation and eliciting the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our relaxation response, as well as, you know, increasing endorphins. I don't know if you want to say any more about that.
Yeah, just in general, your relaxation response, right? So we have 2 parts of our nervous system. You have the...
Sorry, the phone is dropping. Sorry.
That's okay. You have the sympathetic part of the nervous system and the parasympathetic. So sympathetic is our fight or flight when we're distressed. Basically, it gets us ready to have to fight or flee to protect ourselves. And that's fine when there really is a danger, but ideally we want to be in our parasympathetic nervous system, which is relaxation response, or as we like to call it, rest, digest, and reproduce. So breathing is one of the most powerful tools that can really, on a very short, in a very short period of time, rather, shift you into parasympathetic mode. So
it's
we want to share
it's efficient and free, as we like to say, right? Available to you at any time. Yeah. So today we're going to teach you kind of a breath work within a breath work, which I'll explain in a moment. But I'm going to go ahead and have Deborah get herself situated, and I'm just going to make sure that the camera doesn't start sliding down again as it did before. And so just get yourself comfortable and do bend your knees if that's okay. And I'm just going to make sure we can see you. There we go. All right. So one of the breath works that we teach as kind of a baseline of an important breath work is called Ujjayi Pranayama, and that means breath of victory or victorious breathing in Sanskrit. And if you're unsure with what that is, I suggest that you go to our website, which is livinglēla.com, and there's an opt-in on that home page to get a download of an instructional for Ujjayi breath. So if you're like, I don't even know what that is. So that's an important thing to know. But Ujjayi breathing is diaphragmatic breathing, where you inhale and exhale through the nose. There's a soft constriction at the back of the throat, so you're creating a sound similar to ocean waves or wind in the trees. It really sounds like a soft Darth Vader sound. And so Deborah's going to begin her Ujjayi breathing. And she's just in this comfortable position to start. So really you could do this sitting up, or lying down is a little more relaxed, but just wherever you are, just start to notice your breath. If you know Ujjayi, you can begin that, or for now, just conscious breathing will work as well. So the breath within the breath that I'm kind of talking about is we start with the baseline of Ujjayi breath. And then we begin to draw our awareness even deeper inside. And in fact, this is a concept of interoception, which is where we begin to be able to really, in our mind's eye, tune inward into our internal body and have that sensation or sense. And so I'm going to ask Deborah, as she takes her next breath, to draw her belly, let her belly swell. So the breath goes all the way down into the belly. It starts to climb up into her rib cage and comes all the way into her chest. And as she exhales, she's going to allow the breath to absorb back down as it releases the body. Chest goes down, ribs absorb, and then the navel draws back just a touch. So again, inhale into the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And then as you exhale, it's kind of drawing back down from the way it came, if you will. And so this idea that we call this 3-part breathing. So if you're imagining your body in these 3 distinct parts, the torso, then you can start to direct your breath and your attention into these areas. And so this really starts to allow us to tune inward in a very different way. Aside from eliciting the relaxation response, if we can start to kind of go inside in a way that we can say, oh, I feel tight in this specific area, or I'm feeling pain or discomfort or whatever it might be, then we can start to direct our breath and our attention there. So it'll be a pretty powerful tool.
And a lot of times when people are feeling uncomfortable emotions, which by definition feel uncomfortable, they don't want to be in their body. So interoception is so important for us to be able to go and sit in the space of those emotions so that we can move through them.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. So wherever you are, maybe take 2 more rounds of breath in this way. And one thing you can also do if you're ever having trouble dropping in, and even if you're not, is you can let your hands rest on the front of your body. Maybe one hand rests on the belly, one hand rests on the heart, or somewhere in the center area, just whatever feels good, or 2 hands toward the belly. And that way you can really start to feel this natural rise and fall of the body as you breathe. And it might help you to kind of direct your attention differently. Last cycle of breath here. Thank you for being a wonderful model.
My pleasure.
So yeah, there's these simple tools that we can integrate. I'm just going to, sorry, the camera is come down a little bit again. And so we encourage you to maybe over this next week even, just start to pay attention to your breath. Yeah.
And just make some time to breathe, right? So particularly if we're stressed and anxious, we sometimes even forget to breathe. And we're certainly not usually consciously breathing. So even if you can just stop for a minute or 2, take 10 or 12 nice good belly breaths, or try this 3-part breathing if you feel inspired to do that as well, just to keep shifting your body back into parasympathetic mode as much as possible throughout the day.
Yeah, and they call all of this a practice for a reason. So if it feels hard in the beginning, the more you do it, the more you're going to be able to kind of drop into it with ease. And it will be in those moments just in our life, whether it be stress or the pain of endometriosis or whatever it is that you might be dealing with, that you'll have this tool a little more readily available, if you will.
Yes.
So so this is the first kind of segment of a series we'll be doing, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. You can visit our website, soulfulconceptions.com, and you can find an opt-in on that page to access our free fertility resources library, and in that also includes Ujjayi breath, among many other things. So we'll see you on the next round. Namaste.
Namaste.